Good morning YouTube. Welcome to my first video of Watches and Wonders, and today we are going to be reviewing a Addiesdive AD2048, or as some of you might recognise, it is a Hamilton khaki field watch homage. Now, from first impressions of this watch, it's fantastic. The bottom line is this watch is fantastic. For the price which I paid, and this is shipping to the UK, I paid £48 for this watch. Now, once we go through the specs, and I also have a few other watches with very, very similar movements and specs, which cost me 5 times the amount of this watch, it really makes you start to think, why are we paying so much for say Seikos and some of the higher end watches, especially in my personal opinion of having a Hamilton in hand and having this Addiesdive in hand. I really started to expect a little bit more from Hamilton. But anyway, with all that said, let's get on with the specs of this watch. So, like I said earlier, this is the Addiesdive AD2048. And it is using the NH35A, which is Seiko's date-only movement. It is a 24 joule movement with a 41-hour power reserve and 21,600 beats per hour. So it's a tank of a movement. It's a fantastic movement. I can't really complain about it. For the price that you can pick these movements up for nowadays, they are fantastic. So, as we look at the dial, you can see it is very, very easy. It's a very legible dial made primarily, this style of watch was military. So, whilst they were out back in the day with the military ones, they had to have a watch that was very, very legible. Obviously, they were getting very mucky. There were lots of things going on around them. And this was the base, the primary base for the field watch. So, let's start with the dimensions of this. So this watch has a 36mm case, excluding the crown, with a lug-to-lug of 49mm. So to anyone who has relatively small wrists, like myself, this watch will fit lovely. Fits like a glove on my wrist, and I do have an extremely small wrist. So, it's got a case thickness of around 12mm. Now the manufacturer state 12mm, I got 12.2, which it's not that bad really, it's not too far out. With a 20mm strap going down to an 18mm strap at the clasp, which as we spin around we can see we have a gorgeous milled clasp. Now I'm just going to remind people, this watch cost me £48 with delivery, and we are getting a milled clasp, which I think is absolutely fantastic. I do apologise if these are all a little bit close. This is, as I say, this is my first video. I am still getting to terms with how I need to set my stuff up and how I'm going to go about a lot of this a little bit later on in the future. So, the entire case, along with the strap, is made from a 316L stainless steel, which is definitely this standard nowadays for a lot of the steel watches that you can buy. It's the same steel that even some of your entry luxury watches are still using. There is a step up from that, which I know Rolex use, which I believe is a 914L stainless steel, but I could be wrong there. Don't get too, as you will see as we get further on into my YouTube channel, I don't really do a lot of luxury watches. I do like the homages. I like to see what we can get for the best money. What is the best watch that I can get my hands on for the best amount of money? So, looking at the face at the moment, we have a sapphire crystal that is covering the dial with a blue AR coating on it. Now, the coating under the light I'm currently using is not very visible, but when you get it outside into the daylight, you can see it's got a beautiful, beautiful blue AR coating on it. But it doesn't mess with the dial. Now, I know a lot of AR coatings can be a little bit too powerful, and they can really mess sometimes with the beauty of the simplicity of a dial. Now, with this watch, you will get, this is claimed BGW9 for the loom. It is a 200 meter or 20 bar claimed. Now, I will state a lot of this stuff that is said is claimed. So normally for a 200 meter watch, I'd like to see a gasket on the screw down crown. Unfortunately, this doesn't have it. So do I trust that it'd do 200 meters? No. Do I trust that it will do 50, maybe even 100 pretty easily with a screw down case back and a screw down crown? 100% I do. I believe that this is definitely a watch that you could probably go swimming in. They do suggest stay out the showers in them. Apparently warm water can affect them. But 100% for something to go down to pooling, or maybe if you just dip in or even just washing up, then it is a watch that I do believe it'd take that sort of water on. So, moving on to the actual bracelet for this watch. So the bracelet is using female end links, which help it really conform. It just drops straight down. Really helps it conform to the shape of smaller wrists. It really is, looking at it, a very beautiful watch. So yep, so female end links, and then this is me getting distracted now because I do like my watches and I do sometimes just get a little bit distracted when I'm looking at them. So yep, going down to the strap, like I said earlier, we have female end links going down to a solid clasp. Now, they are trying to make it look like the Oyster clasp here by Rolex. I will just state, as well made as this clasp is and as solid as this clasp is, it is not a 3-link clasp. It is just made to look like a 3-link clasp. But every single link is solid. Not sure if you guys are picking up any of that wind disruption that we've got going on outside. I do apologise, we're having some crazy winds here in the UK currently, especially where I'm from in Yorkshire. Normally I would be out and I would be wandering around and I would be doing a review outside, but it's got to the point this weather is actually dangerous to be outside for too long in. So we've had red weather warnings everywhere. But you don't want to know about what it's like over here, you've come for the watch. So it is a full bead blasted case so it was really good for hiding scratches. I do have already a few scratches on it. I wear my watches, guys. Like, I do a lot of outside. My main job is bushcrafting, so a lot of my watches do get worn. And they get worn very hard. So, with the full bracelet on, the full weight of this watch is 136 grams. Currently, with 2 links taken out of one side and 3 links taken out of the other, I have this watch down at 115 grams. So it's not a difference that normally a lot of people would see, but when you've got a watch on your wrist for quite a while, it is something that you do start to realise. Now, there's going to be quite a lot of different style of watches coming up in the next few weeks. I'm going to try release at least 3 videos per week. Hopefully better and better quality as we get into them. Please leave comments down below if you have any suggestions. Things will be changing, there will be better lighting coming, there will be a better background, not something that looks like marble, as beautiful as marble is. There will be a better background coming. I will be also reviewing a few other homage watches, just for a little sneak peek. We will have coming in. I'm sure a lot of people know that brand. I've heard it being called khaki. I've heard it being called Heimdallr. I personally like to say San Martin's worst nightmare, because the quality of some of them Heimdallrs that you can get for the prices is phenomenal. But enough of my favourite watch. Back to the Addiesdive. Now, as you can see, there is no Cyclops on the face of this watch, which I think is perfect. You've just got a little border around where the date window is. Personally, I'm not a fan of Cyclopses. It's just not for me. As we go through my watches along this channel, you will notice I believe I only have one watch with a Cyclops on it, and I am considering removing it. So, but this was only a quick review. I really do hope that you've enjoyed it. I will quickly get up a shot of the loom for you, and yeah, please do leave suggestions. This is my first video. I'm getting there. We're trying to get better. I'm trying to improve for you guys, so then you guys can at least enjoy the videos when they come along. I will be getting better at editing. I do apologise. Some of these videos are going to just be a lot for the first ones of but we will get there and we will get better. I'll quickly get a loom shot for you going, and once we've done that, we'll think about ending the video. And there we are, guys. There's the loom. Now, this is also in quite a well-lit room, believe it or not. This video, I don't believe, is picking up just how well-lit this room is. And that's shining bright. Like, they really have done a good job with this loom. It's beautiful. It's got that, what I like to call citizen blue. For the price that people are paying, these watches are just fantastic. But right, guys, thank you for watching. Please, if you'd like to see a few homage watches, a few G-Shocks, a little bit of bushcrafting, a little bit of wandering around and getting these watches really well used, then drop us a like and drop us a subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much.